Welcome to Nisreen's Art World. I'm a dancer and a visual artist with a background in graphic art and psychology. In this podcast, I'll be exploring a variety of topics, from book reviews to dance analysis, through an artistic lens. I hope you enjoy the journey. Hello, this is Nisreen. Welcome to the 16th episode of Season 2 of my podcast. It's lovely to speak with you again. The other day, I watched Paddington in Peru, the third film in the British family comedy series. Directed by Paul King, the series is based on Michael Bond's beloved children's books, first published in 1958. The film is mostly live action, apart from Paddington Bear, who's brought to life with computer-generated animation. The film features top-notch actors such as Hugh Bonneville, Emily Mortimer, Antonio Banderas, and Olivia Colman. I was particularly surprised by how deeply the little talking bear resonated with me. I have to admit, as soon as I got home, I binge-watched the previous two films, and I absolutely loved them. In this episode, I'd like to share 3 reasons why I see Paddington Brown as a role model. There will be spoilers, so if you haven't watched the films and don't want to ruin the fun, please come back later. I hope you enjoy it. 1. He is respectful. Paddington's story was inspired in part by Michael Bond's memories of watching refugee children pass through Reddington Station during World War II. Yes, Paddington is clearly a story about a refugee child, one who arrives in London from the dark forests of Peru with nothing but a marmalade sandwich, a red hat, and a tag around his neck that reads, "Please look after this bear." One of the first things you notice about Paddington is his politeness. Despite his difficult circumstances, he greets everyone with a tip of his hat and addresses people with utmost respect. In many ways, this little bear embodies the ideal of a British gentleman better than most actual British people. Except, of course, when he drinks straight from the teapot. His impeccable manners convey 2 key messages. 1. You don't have to be born British to be British. And 2. Respectful behavior matters. Through his consistent kindness and courtesy, he even managed to melt the heart of Mr. Brown, who was initially skeptical about taking him in. At the same time, Paddington's journey in the Brown household illustrates an important truth about multiculturalism. Welcoming someone from a completely different background isn't always easy. Integration can bring challenges and uncertainty for both sides, something Mr. Brown was particularly wary of. While his concerns may seem to come from a lack of empathy, they actually stem from a desire to protect his family, especially after Paddington floods their bathroom. While some critics argue that the films don't reflect the harsh realities faced by refugees, Paddington's story beautifully demonstrates the quiet yet profound power of respect in bridging differences. 2. He goes his own way. Paddington is polite, but that doesn't mean he's meek. Whenever someone forgets their manners, he gives them a stern, hard stare until they realize their mistake. This is one of the great life lessons Aunt Lucy taught him. Paddington stands firm in his values, not by using force, but by being unwaveringly true to himself. His politeness is, in fact, a reflection of his stubbornness. Even after realizing that Londoners are not as polite as he had imagined, he refuses to change who he is. He remains a bear with an English name, proud of both his origins and his adopted home. As someone who has often been teased for being different or old-fashioned, I find his attitude incredibly empowering. Paddington shows that being true to yourself is a strength, even when the world doesn't always appreciate it. 3. He brings out the best in others. As Ali Plum and Ben Whishaw said in the BBC interview, Paddington embodies innocence, positivity, and kindness. His pure-hearted nature transforms those around him, helping them feel seen, valued, and cared for. Even the toughest characters he encounters cannot help but soften in his presence. The films beautifully highlight how small acts of kindness, offering someone a sandwich, reminding them not to forget their keys, can brighten a person's day. These subtle details reminded me of the importance of noticing those around me and taking the time to show I care. Finally, Paddington's kindness brings different communities together. He gives back to his homeland by teaching his Peruvian bear family how to make delicious marmalade and inviting them to visit London. This moment is incredibly touching. He realizes that his home now is London and that he can contribute to the Peruvian bear family by sharing what he learned from British culture. As someone who relocated from Japan to the US, I feel I have a lot to learn from Paddington's positive way of embracing his cross-cultural experiences. The Paddington films are masterpieces, blending humor with heartfelt messages and stunning visual storytelling. I would highly recommend them, not only to children, but also to adults looking for a heartwarming reminder of kindness, respect, and the power of staying true to oneself. How did you find today's episode? I hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please consider leaving a review or comment. Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye for now.